remind you why you're here. The Tribute Gala is Saturday, November 22nd, and this is, as you all know, a kickoff. The Tribute has been in existence since 1982, so we have very big shoes to fill, and hopefully we'll be able to do that successfully this year. Over the years, this has been a very, very successful event, and we're very excited, obviously, to host this. The tribute, this year, the theme is Tribute to the Power of Hope. And hope is interesting, just the concept of hope. In a business sense, hope is not a strategy, but in a behavioral care sense and in a medical sense, hope is the spark of improvement. And when people have hope, it's amazing what they can do in terms of improvement. And I think any of you who are caregivers certainly can understand that. So,
a lifetime of giving. Speaking of honorees, this year we really are excited to be recognizing a couple of leaders in the whole behavioral health field. Tonight we're really lucky to be able to say that our individual honoree, Marguerite Salazar, has joined us. Marguerite is right here. Give her a big round of applause. As we were talking just over here, just chit-chatting, she is a mental health provider from when she started her career. And it has marbled through everything she's done in her leadership roles. Whether it was a presidential appointment to be the regional administrator of human services, whether it's now at the Insurance Commission and as the insurance commissioner, really trying to make sure that the Affordable Care Act is implemented right. We know that we have a friend there who supports this issue to deep in her soul. And we are really honored to recognize you this year at our tribute event on the 22nd. And we'll look forward to having great music and a great time and saying more accolades. But congratulations and thank you for coming tonight.
Boulder was listed as the best college town recently. I think Douglas County was listed as the best county to live in. So we get such great accolades, but I think there's some statistics that we don't always hear. And so I wanted to give you some of those. 1 in 3, or about 1.7 million Coloradans, experience problems with mental health and substance use every single year. Colorado has the 8th highest suicide rate in the U.S., and in 2012, suicide was the leading cause of death among Coloradans aged 10 to 35. Huge issues. Stigma against mental illness and substance abuse is the one persistent barrier to people seeking help, reaching out to those who are struggling and becoming and staying well. Stigma causes unhealthy fear, secrecy, mistrust, and shame. Only 40% of the people who need mental health care actually reach out for it. The National Institute of Mental Health reports that half of the U.S. population experiences a mental health condition or substance use disorder during their lifetime. It's a lot of people.
Well, I've only been involved with this organization for about a year and a half myself, but it's definitely becoming more of an emotional hot button for me. The more I learn, the more I see. Every few days it seems like we see another celebrity suicide, another mass murder. It's pretty frightening, the cost of our society of mental illness. And how many, for every Robin Williams that we hear about, for every Owen Wilson, for every Dylan Klebold, how many thousands, tens of thousands of others are there out there that if they could only gain access to care, and they can't get it because our society doesn't put much of an emphasis on treating mental illness. If we have diabetes, if we have cancer, if we have heart disease, we have absolutely no problems going to see the doctor and trying to get some help. But boy, if our brains, our emotions aren't working very well, we're embarrassed. And because of that, people suffer through that, and it just continues to build until a point where eventually they just explode, whether it's a violent act, whether it's abusing somebody else, or whether it's a suicide, abusing themselves. It's awful. So the mission of this organization is to do something about that, is to get the emphasis onto treating mental illness and treating it just the way we would, and thinking about it just as we would any illness.